The spark of arrogance. The Kreth Dominion believed themselves eternal. Their fleets prowled the edges of the Orion Arm like wolves, hunting colonies that dared to resist tribute. For centuries, no power had checked them. Even the whispers of Earth, distant, quiet, unseen, seemed laughable to their warlords. So when their cruisers intercepted a convoy carrying aid to a small, neutral world under Terran protection, they did not hesitate. The aliens executed the envoys on open channel, laughing as human screams were broadcast across the void. They dragged the shattered bodies before their people as trophies. But their arrogance did not end there. In one of their spoils, a derelict relic sealed in cryogenic stasis, they uncovered a frozen chamber. Inside it, a human, an ancient warrior preserved beyond time. The Kreth thawed him, curious, mocking. A relic, they jeered, a fossil of a species too weak to fight its own battles. They did not realize the chain they had broken. Celebration of cruelty. The Kreth paraded their prize. In their grand arenas, the warrior was displayed like a caged beast. "This is Earth," their commanders proclaimed. A species of frailty, preserved in ice like insects. See how time itself abandoned them. Crowds roared. Soldiers mocked the relic's scars. They assumed the human was powerless, a shattered fragment of a forgotten war. Yet the warrior's eyes did not plead. They burned, silent, patient, waiting. The Dominion's propaganda spread through the networks of 1,000 worlds. Aliens across the galaxy laughed at humanity's weakness. Certain Earth was nothing more than a myth kept alive by empty whispers. But deep within the cryogenic prisoner's chest, an ancient fire rekindled. The silence breaks. When the human awoke fully, his first words chilled even his captors. "Where is Earth?" The Kreth laughed, taunting him with the slaughter of envoys, the mocking of colonies, the burning of Terran flags. They did not notice that across hidden channels, their words had been intercepted. Earth heard. For centuries, humanity had remained patient, civilized, detached from the petty conflicts of galactic empires. But patience is not weakness. It is the drawing of breath before the roar. The silence shattered. Comms across the galaxy lit with a transmission cold and merciless. "Release him, or we come." The Kreth scoffed. "Let them come," their admirals sneered. "We are eternal." The unveiling of Earth's fury. From the darkness between stars, shapes emerged. First the scouts, silent frigates, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Then cruisers with blackened hulls, their drive signatures masked in gravitational folds. And then the dreadnoughts, colossi of steel and fire, blotting out suns as they advanced in perfect, merciless silence. Every Dominion listening post caught only fragments before going dark. A shadow sweeping across their worlds, cities cut off mid-broadcast, fleets vanishing without even wreckage left behind. The ancient warrior the Kreth mocked was no mere soldier. He was a sentinel, one of Earth's last bred-for-war guardians. His thawing was not his awakening, it was Earth. The clash of suns. The first great battle began at Valar Rift. The Kreth unleashed 200 warships, their formation burning with arrogance. They believed the humans few, untested. Then the humans arrived. The starfield turned black, eclipsed by steel. Dreadnought after dreadnought unfolded from hyperspace, their hulls inscribed with scars of older wars. They did not roar, did not boast. They advanced like executioners. Kreth weapons lit the void, but the human shields held, bending light itself into veils of destruction. Human retaliation came not as fire but as annihilation. Kinetic lances tore through entire flotillas, planet-side fortresses crumbled from orbit, oceans boiled beneath orbital strikes. The Dominion screamed defiance, but defiance was drowned in the storm. The March of the Sentinel. Amidst the chaos, the warrior once mocked as a relic strode again. Clad in newly forged armor, his figure cast shadows across the Dominion's capital. He carried no crown, no banner, only the memory of slaughtered envoys and burned colonies. He led the assault personally, descending like a storm upon the Kreth throne world. Armies followed, their boots shaking continents. Cities fell in hours. Statues of Kreth emperors were pulled down and replaced with silence. The warrior raised his voice only once, to the Kreth leaders cowering in their citadel. "You defrosted me to mock Earth. Now you will remember why I was frozen, because the galaxy once begged Earth to stop." Retribution without end. World after world burned. Kreth fleets, once proud, became wreckage fields drifting silent among shattered moons. Trade routes collapsed. Their allies, who had mocked Earth as well, began to flee, abandoning treaties, erasing messages that had once jeered at humanity. The galaxy watched as entire suns were blotted out by human fleets moving in silence, vast formations disciplined to the edge of terror. Unlike the Kreth, humanity did not broadcast their victories. They let the silence speak. And in that silence, fear grew. Whispers in the ashes. The war did not last years. It lasted weeks. When the last Kreth world fell, there was no ceremony, no declaration of victory. Human ships simply departed, leaving ruin behind. Cities in ashes, fleets erased, empires broken. The warrior who had been defrosted returned to his cryogenic chamber, not because he was weak, but because humanity knew they might need him again. His final words before entering the chamber rang across every surviving Dominion frequency. "Never provoke Earth again." Aftermath, the lesson etched in fire. The survivors whispered in the ruins. Humanity's vengeance is infinite. They do not forgive. They wait, and when awakened, they end worlds. No one laughed at Earth again. No one mocked the silence. Across the galaxy, the sight of Terran ships blotting out stars became the image of dread. Parents hushed their children with a warning: do not anger the humans. Because one alien act of arrogance, defrosting a warrior for mockery, had unleashed the memory of what Earth once was. And the galaxy understood the truth. Patience is not weakness. Mercy is not surrender. Humanity's vengeance, when finally drawn, is absolute. Final whisper. In the ashes of the Kreth Dominion, the stars themselves seemed to tremble. The galaxy remembered one thing, spoken not in defiance but in fear: never provoke Earth again.